Perfect timing there. Just as I finish filling up, boat coming out, so I go straight into the lock.
Have you heard the tale of Aslan and the Gent? Have you seen their travels before? Well, did you know that they're back again and cruising the canals once more? Sold up downsides for a minimalised alternative life afloat. Going boldly where thousands have been before. One man, one life, one boat.
Bit of a senior moment there. If I thought I could have come down through the lock, tied up here, filled the water tank and emptied the loo. Oh well. That's another round of all the essentials done. Now to find a mooring. And I'm told along here beyond the next bridge there are moorings with rings and there's space. Moving into a more industrial area of Banbury now, which suits me fine because I'll be running my generator. No chance of solar now. What a difference a bridge makes. Oh, this is a bit on the overgrown side and very narrow. A very popular spot along here. The first fire I've seen lit this year. Sure sign the seasons are changing. Though for me, it's still way too mild to light my fire. If I did, I'd melt. These moorings are all permit holders, but I think it goes back to visitor moorings soon. That piece of Armco would have been good, but way too narrow. What a shame, that would be ideal, but too near this narrow old bridge. Ah well, not to worry. Slight change of plans then. If a mooring pops up in the next couple of 100 yards, then I'm still within comfortable walking distance of a Morrison's back down the canal there. The first of the many lift bridges along the remainder of the Oxford, and I'm pleased to see that, as I was told, the vast majority of them are left open. Just like that, Banbury ends. Right, how about along here then? A very narrow eco area, whatever you call it, caused by reeds, and a boat coming through the lift bridge. I think there's room for two of us to squeeze through here. Don't you just love eco? Eco. It's not just a washing powder, it's a religion. I think I found the spot. Well, absolutely perfect, I think. Gives me about a mile back to Morrison's, which is nothing really. Lovely views, no need to worry about running my generator. Nobody to annoy. Perfect. And bye-bye Banbury, and quite the place to spend the last 3 weeks or so. 2 weeks at the northern end and a week at the southern. Onward we go then, and over the next 3 days Aslan and I have our work cut out, as the next 21 miles of canal to come travel through a part of Oxfordshire with absolutely nothing at all. No shops, no petrol stations, just a scattering of old houses and villages and the occasional pub. Over those 21 miles, there are a total of 12 evenly spaced locks, and it would seem a never-ending line of lift bridges. Fortunately, I have it on good authority that most of them are kept in the raised position. As I say, 3 days and 21 miles of unspoilt countryside, with the exception of the M40 motorway. And here is the M40 motorway. Where I was moored, you could hear this sort of faint white noise in the distance. Nothing intrusive, but you knew it was there. First lock of the day, Grant's Lock. As I say, these are fairly evenly spaced over the 21 miles, all the way to the next large town, which is Kidlington. Kind of an extension of Oxford that's just basically evolved over time. But then doesn't that describe all cities and built up areas? I was told by a boater recently that until a couple of years ago this was a very nice pub. Unfortunately, one night a gang of youths with obviously little else to do decided to torch the place. What a shame. The boater who just came through the lock confirmed that the lift bridges are indeed all left open. A change of style of lock gate here. All the way up to now it's been double gates at the front, and it's now single gates. that's good to see. There's a boat waiting to come in.
Yeah, doing all right.
It's the fuel boat, and they're towing a butty. Though I don't think they'll get both in the lock at the same time. Next lock, around 1.5 miles away. I received a comment a couple of days ago while I was moored, and I want to make it clear from the outset that I haven't been affected by it or offended by it or upset or anything like that. I'm telling you all because I found it, first of all, like, what? And then extremely amusing. And so I shall share the comment with you now. Suitably censored, of course. And it goes along the lines of, go get yourself a job, you lazy, bone-idle piece of shit. Suffice it to say, I banned the bastard. Now about 1 mile to the next lock, and the noise of the M40 motorway slowly recedes. Very serene, and as I say, 21 miles of this, which can't be bad. Though I won't be doing it all today, no sir. 21 miles, 3 days, I make that 7 miles a day. Well, at least it was when I were a lad, unless they've changed it, of course. The church at King Sutton hove into view, parts of which date from the Saxony period. It's very difficult to walk to King Sutton from the canal, as the river of Cherwell cuts right through. and there's nowhere to cross, within walking distance at least. The next lock, and is this another boat coming up? I say, there's nowhere to tie one's boat, don't you know? Just help the boater here. Just about to get off to close the lock, and a boat has turned up. Well, that's alright, isn't it? A tip for any new boaters, or holiday hire boaters: the lock waiting area is not the place to moor up for a spot of tiffin. The reason these lift bridges are left open is they generally tend to be access to farmers' fields, and of course boaters will be using the canal more often than the farmer will want to access his field. A fine example of where good old-fashioned common sense pays off in spades. Chain to pull the bridge down. And whilst I was planning this trip, I was a bit concerned about these lift bridges, because of course, being single-handed, there's no way to operate them, as there's nowhere to moor up. few spots of rain were forecast, and there's also a slight breeze. The powers that be had named the previous rain and breeze as Storm Agnes. Well, I don't believe this drop of rain and breeze has a name. So as the names alternate between male and female, I shall call this one Brian. Brian! I'm happy to see that Storm Brian has amounted to nothing. Stop and buy stuff. I'm not particularly after a sofa, and this ain't Top Gear. I'm not going to do the rest of this trip with a sofa stuck on the roof. I've experienced all types of lock landing areas, but this one takes top prize, I think.